Just the other day, I posted this video with all the upcoming tier 2 weapons. Just as an FYI, so maybe you don't invest too heavily in a tier 1 weapon when they'll just get obsolete as soon as these hit. And that could be anytime soon now. More info on a time frame later on in the video. But now I want to cover exactly how you can best prepare yourself for when these new weapons come out so you can get a head start, obtain them early on, either sell them for a ton of Lucent or get a boost ahead of everybody in PvP early. So the first thing you'll want to do is save up your allied resistant contract scrolls. Yes, the ones for like Ceradoma Island, Silas Abyss, as you will actually be able to exchange them for the new allied resistant scrolls within the Crimson Mansion. You can see all you need is allied forces seals, and in order to obtain those, you simply dissolve your current allied resistance forces contract scrolls, and you get those general allied forces seals, and you'll use them to craft the new scrolls. These will require level 55. They will require the entire new area. So it will be a while before we get that massive update, but it's something to consider in order to prepare for this, because those new allied resistance scrolls will give you the new Abyss currency. This is different to your standard Abyss currency that we get right now from our current contract scrolls. You can save up 200 of that and you'll get the ability to purchase this chest with some decent tier 2 weapons, like your Blade of Fiendish Fortitude, Bulwark of Invulnerability, and you can see the whole list here. And again, in this video, I went over exactly all of them. Now do be aware, you can save up the current Abyss currency. 80 of them plus 10 Abyssal Aggregate will get you these chests, which will have new tier 2 armor. So the chest pieces here and also your arm pieces. But I'll cover all of those in a separate video, but it is worth noting you can save it if you need those. The rest of the new chests here will simply give you tier 2 armor as well, but with no weapons. And they also need that new plateau currency. So can definitely be worth saving the current scrolls to dissolve them to be able to buy the new scrolls. The tier 2 armor pieces that you can get with 80 of the current Abyss currency. One piece will give you the Dawn Mist set, ranged evasion, magic evasion, and bonus damage. The next one is the Holy Ghost Fighter set, buff duration 10%, damage reduction increased by 20, and endurance increased by 150. And the next is the Sacred Vanquisher set, so skill damage over time added by 20%, and it cannot be applied while other set damage over time effects are applied. And the skill damage resistance increased by 150. So they are somewhat niche sets, and the arm pieces pretty much go with those set pieces as well. So if you don't need any of these particular sets, then you don't need to save up any of this Abyss currency. You will be able to buy the new resistant contracts with Solent every week, allowing you to choose them from this selection chest, and you will be able to obtain them through new precious blessing pouches, as you can see right here. They will not drop from our current blessing pouches. And be aware, completing a contract will give you a pouch, so that'll be the same with the new ones as well, which will also give you a chance at getting new tier 2 gear, including most likely weapons in some areas. The next thing you can do is fairly simple. In order to again get more tier 2 weapons as soon as the update drops, is save up your contract coins. You will be able to spend 3,000 of them to purchase this pack, which has all of these weapons. And there are indeed some pretty powerful ones, like this Mad Wraith Fierce Spear, this new Overture Wand, the Ebon Soulwind Arch Staff, or this Abyssal Staff. And again, you can see all of the different ones here, and in this video I went through all the details of them, comparing versus all the other tier 2 weapons you'll be able to get as well. But yes, it is a whopping 3,000 contract coins, and do be aware you might want to still keep getting your weekly trade extraction stones, enchanted ink, and there will be new blessing pouches, which will also give you all of this new weapons as well, along with the selection of armor. So you'll definitely want to stockpile on some contract coins. It's just, yeah, you'll also want to stockpile trade extracts, enchanted ink, if you intend to make a ton of lucent from this new update. Like, you need 50 extraction stones just for one trade on a tier 2 item. Absolutely stockpile, along with still being able to create lithographs from the new tier 2 gear, which means you want a lot of that ink. Now, the next thing you can do is your co-op dungeons. The 2-star dungeons are actually going to get a dimensional essence, and this is also going to be coming from the random cube boxes. Now, I don't know if they're going to update all the existing random cube boxes to have this 4% chance to give you that essence of desire, so it could potentially be worth stockpiling our current ones in the hopes they get updated to this, because you will be able to then craft dimensional essence at the accessories crafter with 20 of each of those soul shards. And then you go to your senior sundries crafter to simply purchase your tier 2 weapon selection chests, which again have all of these options, which are pretty good. So yes, definitely stockpile on those soul shards and those random matchmaking boxes if you already have all the tier 1 gear that you need. And it's very likely the loot tables of these tier 2 dungeons will also get updated with tier 2 armors. Like, this will give you tier 2 pants, carmine tier 2 boots, etc. Where you would then also be able to spend those soul shards to get those boxes to get the items you want. So it is very worth it saving those soul shards for this update. The last big thing you can do to prepare is blessing stacking. If you're not aware, tier 2 will be a step above tier 1. Meaning it's like going from blue to purple as we had before. So you're going to be able to use blessings to get, say, 100% upgrade in order to upgrade your traits, like again blue to purple. The alternative is to, yes, get multiple tier 2 armor pieces, which are just going to be super expensive early on. So blessing stacking is crucial, and it's going to require 10 blessings for 1%. You're going to need an extra 90%, so you're going to want to have 900 blessings per upgrade. You're going to need 3 upgrades for each of your 3 traits, so that's 9 upgrades, so that's 8,100 blessings you need to fully trait a tier 2 item. So you can do this right now. You can get your tier 1 items and you can start blessing stacking on them. Tldr of that is right here, and so you end up with over 8,000 blessings, allowing you to max trade it with just tier 1 gear items. To put it very simply, get a trash purple item and get blessings on it. So you can do that by feeding in like blues. Just do not transfer anything yet into that item. You need to get up to 4,160 blessings. Once tier 2 comes out and you get, say, a replacement to my boots, I will then transfer these boots into my trash boots, and then I will transfer those trash boots into the new boots I got, the new tier 2 boots. And that gives me all the blessings I'll need to max trade it. Just be aware you're going to need to unlock those traits. You're going to need like either 100 trade stones for a gear piece or 200 for weapons. Or if you get an item with a trash trait, you can convert randomly with 200 conversion stones. And yes, of course, you will still be able to use other tier 2 items to upgrade your traits and to unlock the traits. And just for the beginning will be very expensive. And ultimately, that's about it. Save your current scrolls so you can dissolve them to then be able to purchase the new ones. Save your contract coins to be able to buy the pouches and also the selection chests for the new weapons. And then also save your soul shards to be able to craft the new dimensional essence in order to purchase these weapon selection chests. And the traits on these will definitely be going for a ton because they are tier 2 and everybody will be wanting to upgrade their tier 2 weapons. So even if they aren't the best to use, they'll still be very high value. The other sources of tier 2 weapons, again, is like these field bosses, just as we had with the older field bosses dropping the tier 1 gear. And it's very likely we will get the new update soon that tier 1 bosses will drop tier 2 gear. Like Nirmad is going to drop these boots, Minzarok this helmet, Azrael these pants. but they won't have any of the new tier 2 weapons. You have to go to these tier 2 bosses for that, which is again the new area, the big update upcoming. The last we heard from the devs was a few months ago that it would potentially be in late Q1. That's like March. Honestly, I suspect it's going to be earlier than that, as we are running dry on content. However, they might drip feed it, like again adding first tier 2 armors to our 2-star dungeons, to our world bosses, allowing us to get it with the tier 2 soul shards, and then after that, the massive content update with the new area, with the new weapons, new arch bosses, open world dungeons, etc. like we mentioned. So it's up to you if you want to start saving for that now, or say build up multiple different characters, get different gear sets, try out different weapons for the time being. As honestly, there's not much to do. Most of us by now have maxed out our characters one way or another and are kind of sitting by idle. So it's somewhat of a relief that our current currencies can be saved up and used for newer gear. Just yes, try and at least do your tier 2 dungeons every day and keep saving up those soul shards. So thanks all for watching. A special thank you to all these channel members, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.